Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to my YouTube channel. I'm your girl Mother Memes, and it's always a pleasure to have you here. And this is my twist out. This is how it came out after I treated my hair. It's not that bad, but it's not all that because I don't have the thickness that I need of the hair. But today we're not talking about hair. We are not talking about hair. We are not talking about hair. Today we are talking about the 10 things you need to know before coming to Qatar. Yes, and I promised you about this video, so today is when we are doing it. And I think the first important thing you should know before coming here is about the sponsorship and the free visa. For you to come here, you need to be sponsored and you need to be under somebody, and also you can choose to come here on your free visa, which is quite expensive, but it has all the benefits. So it's for you to choose, but you need a sponsor to come here, or you will come here under your own free visa. Well, number 2, this place is very safe. We don't have any theft cases. You don't have to feel like you're in an unsafe place with your properties, with your things. Even if you're out on public, there's no any theft cases, because most places are unsafe because there's a lot of thieves, armed robbers and all. But no, this place we don't have that here. You might, if you want to leave your house open, okay, nobody can go in. If you forget your stuffs in public, when you go back you'll still find them. Yeah, this place is very safe. And number 3, we are talking about alcohol. I know some of you love having those parties. This place is just for work. When you're coming here, just set your mind, I'm coming here to work and save. Leave alone the party time away. Leave alone your social life. You know, this place is so strict. There's no alcohol, especially if you're a woman. You're not allowed to drink, you're not allowed to go out drunk, because that's a huge case. So it's better staying safe and staying away from those things. Furthermore, you're not staying away from it forever. If you can't do without it, it's just for a matter of period of time. Maybe your contract is for 2 years. You just say, okay, I'm focused, I won't do this. I'm focused, I won't do this, not to get myself into trouble. So stay away from alcohol. It's not a must. Something suggests luxury. We don't need them. No, we don't. Yeah, so it's better safe. It's better safe than going against the rules, the set rules. To start with, this is not your country. You don't want to do that. And number 4 is about marriage and relationship. In this place, life is so hard. You're not supposed to have a relationship. Like, you're not supposed to show affection on the street. It's prohibited. And you can't be living with somebody if you're not married to them. It's that strict. And even if going to a hotel, you can't check into a hotel without a marriage certificate. Yeah, it's strict. And also, even when you're going for medication, you need a prescription from the doctor. You just can't go to a chemist and say, oh, I need this medicine and this medicine. No, you have to be prescribed. There are rules that you need to follow in this place. You just can't do your things the way you normally do, like you're in your country. So about relationship, you can't be having relationship anyhowly if you're not married. The only relationship allowed here is the marriage relationship. Not any other. So if you have if you're active in any way, if you have an active sex life, this is not a place for it. No, the only activity allowed here is working out. There's a lot of gyms for that. There's women gyms, there's men gyms. So if you want to release that tension, you better get in a gym and forget about everything else. Well, that's how we live here. It's life. But they say other people do it, you know. Other people still find their way to do these stuffs as much as they're not allowed. But rules are always there to be broken. So they say, I didn't say that. They say rules are there to be broken. And number 5 is about the dress code. This country is very strict about how people dress, especially if you're a woman. You can't go out dressing, showing too much. you have to dress modestly, but I'm sure there's always a way to be classy without showing too much. And you're not allowed to wear short sleeve. No, it's not allowed here. You're not allowed to walk in shorts. You're not allowed to wear something showing your cleavage. You must be very modest and very conserved, and that's a good thing. As a woman, you're always supposed to be conserved in your ways. And I'm sure that's not so hard for you to follow, for people to follow. You don't have to show too much to feel sexy. You just have to be modest, classy, and everything falls in. Yeah. Let's talk about the weather here. Number 6. If you're coming here, you should know about the weather. The temperature gets quite high. It gets so hot. So hot that you don't want to go outside. So hot that when you think about going outside, you're like, okay, no, today I just want to stay indoors. Just because the weather is so hot. It's burning hot. It gets very high. The temperature gets high. But if you want to go out with this sun, all you have to do is have a good sunscreen and you're protected. And you're good to go. Sunscreen. So every time you think about going out in hot weathers, you better have a good sunscreen. And when it gets cold, it really gets cold. It gets cold very much because the temperatures drop so low. It doesn't snow. No, we don't have snow here. I've never experienced snow, and I've never experienced any heavy rains here. But when it gets cold, it does get cold because the wind blows, and the wind has this coldness in it. So the weather can get too hot, and it can go too down, too low and too cold. So if you're coming here, but I wouldn't advise you if you're coming here to carry so many jackets. That's a thing that I did. I carried so many jackets because I feared that this place might be too cold, and maybe the cold times are much longer than the hot times. But no, you just need 2 jackets and you're good to go. Let's talk about transportation. The transportation here, it's very expensive, especially if you're using the taxi. Taxis can be quite costly. Ubering around, no, you can't afford that. Personally, I don't Uber around too much. But the transport is quite expensive, yes. So, but there's always a way. But the buses, if you're using the bus or if you're using the train, that's quite cheap and affordable, because you can end up paying 2 reals or 3 reals for train. That is if you're using the train. But Ubering around in taxi can be quite expensive. And in order to use the bus, you need to have a card. You don't just use the bus just like anyhow. You stand in the bus stop and wait for the bus to come and you pop in. No, you must have the card. That spotlight, that it's like an ATM card whereby when you get into the bus, you're charged, and the charges come from your card. That's how we travel here. If you don't want to be on the costly side and you want to be on the cheap side, so it's better knowing how to travel here. Don't use Ubers, don't use taxis. That if you can't afford, just be normal. Use bus, use trains. Yeah. And about apartments here can be so costly. So if you're thinking of coming here and taking your own apartment, that's something you must think about it. You must think about it twice, because apartments here can be costly. It can take up your whole salary just to have a good apartment. But they're good because you can find a furnished apartment, but trust me, it's so expensive. So if you want to stay here, you better find somebody like roommates. Yeah, you can find 2 people you share an apartment with, so that you can share the cost, and at the end of the day you have to save some money for yourself and some money for your apartments and some money for your food. You don't want to be using the whole money to pay apartments. So are you just getting paid to pay rent? No, it doesn't work that way. You must be smart. You must think smart when you're coming here, and you must have a plan. You just don't live your life just like that without any plan. And the food here, the good thing about this place, the food is very, very cheap. Okay, personally I can say the food is very cheap, but you don't expect to go in big malls to shop your food there, and you still find the the food is cheap. No, you just need to find somewhere the food is cheap, and everybody can accommodate the expenses that comes with buying food and putting food on the table. So that shouldn't be the problem here. But also, you must find a place where food is cheap. Like, I shop at Safari Mall. Maybe if you're here, you know what I'm talking about. The food there is very cheap, and yeah, everybody can afford it, and that shouldn't be a problem. Eating should be a problem here. You should put good food on your table, and you're good to go. You have the energy. And number 10 is about taxation. When you're working here, this place, you're not taxed. It's not like any other country where you work and you have to pay your taxes. This place, you're not taxed, and that's a good thing. So that was the 10 things you need to know before coming to Qatar. If you like my videos and you want me to keep on doing more videos, like this video and subscribe and put on that notification bell, so every time when I post a video, you'll be the first one to get notified. As for now, it's a bye-bye, and thanks for taking your time to watch my video. It's always a pleasure. Thank you, stay safe and subscribe. Bye.